Sorry, the network has some question just now. Can you hear me now? And where is the network disconnect? From which part? We can continue from that part. Yes, could you tell me from where the network is disconnect? The first part is okay from beginning to here. Is okay or not? Third screen. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so so can I continue? Continue from part 2? Can I continue from current page? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we continue here. Here, first for control mode selection, here we use this parameter and set it as 1 to select speed control. And the next for speed command source, we use this parameter P1 and 1. 0 means internal speed and 1 means analog input. And here please notice only VD2 series supports analog input and the VD2F don't support analog input. So VD2F we can only select 0 of P1 and 1, this parameter. And the next part is acceleration time and deceleration time. For these two parameters, the unit is ms, but it is from 0 to 1000 RPM. So it's not from 0 to our target speed. Yes. So from this picture, you can see on the left, our target speed is 1000 RPM, and we set these two parameters as 50. So motor will spend about 50 ms to achieve our target speed. And on the right, our target speed is 3000 RPM. So our motor will spend 150 ms to achieve our target velocity. Okay. And here is some content about our short-term ways of our motor. First one is directly setting the speed as 0. In this situation, the speed of motor will slow down to reduce to 0 according to P1 and 4, according to this parameter. And the second way is directly disable the servo. In this way, usually the motor will start in a short time, because after we disable the servo, there are no any current from driver to our motor. So the motor will stop its step, and then the speed will be like this one, not a line, but a S curve. You can see. And then here another short down methods. We call it as it starts shutdown or deceleration stop. How to use this? First, we need to configure one di as e-stop, and the di function code is 8. And the next we need to set parameter P1 and 5. This parameter means shutdown deceleration time. And later, after we trigger di signal inputs, our motor will in e-stop status, and it will slow down according to parameter P1 and 5. And when it's achieved zero speed, the whole stop will finish it. So from the right in this picture, you can see here, after we give a e-stop signal to our driver, from here, the speed is begin to slow down. And when the speed is achieved zero, this signal is our buck signal. If your motor with buck device, you can see the buck device will hold the motor. Will hold the motor after the speed is slowed down to zero. So before the speed achieves zero, the buck device will release the motor. This point is different because before when we trigger e-stop function, the buck device will directly to hold the motor axis. So it may have some it may be dangerous, and maybe have some damage to our machine code structure. So we add this one. The brake device will hold the axis after the speed is achieved zero. This is different. Okay. Speed limit parameter. Here are some speed limit parameter about speed modes. P1 and 10. 1 and 10 is our max speed, and P1 and 11 is our warning speed. So when the speed is bigger, when the speed is bigger than P1 and 11, our driver will give alarm. But motor will continue to run, will not stop. But when speed is bigger than P1 and 10, driver will give an error. And if we get this error, the motor will directly speed. Sorry about the network. Today the network it seems not so stable. So I will close my camera. I think maybe the camera will have influence about the network. Follow this page, right? Okay. Okay, so here are some parameters, limit parameter about our speed mode. First one, and the first two, this two is max speed limit and warning speed limit. You can see the default value is this two. So when the speed is, for example, 3,400, then our driver will give an alarm, alarm, yes, alarm, but the motor will continue to run. It will not stop. But if the speed is bigger than this one, for example, this, the driver will give an error and our motor will stop. Okay, so this is the difference about these two speed limits. And the next two limits is about forward speed limit and reverse speed limit. So usually this two is smaller than first two, and the speed will first be limited by these two parameters, and then be limited by these two. Okay, it's just some speed limit parameter. I think it's easy to understand. Okay, so I think we can continue. And here, yes, and here for internal speed source, if we use internal speeds function, we usually need to build the communication from driver to our SD tool or from driver to HMI or to PLC, because sometimes we need to change the speed real time. So we can use PLC to change or HMI to change, or use SD tool to change the speed. And there will be another class to introduce how to set the internal speed in the future. So here we just take a look. And part 3 is about analog input source. With this analog input source, here, yes, set this parameter. We need to set this parameter as 1. And for analog inputs, here for VD2 series, there are 2 analog input ports, AI1 and AI2. And we use AI1 to set the speed. We use AI1 to set the speed and use AI2 to set the speed limit. But usually we use speed limit by this parameter. We suddenly use AI2 to as the speed limit. We use edge and one bus engines. Bounce these two data. Yes, I mean bounce these two is okay, because here wait. Here you can see for Modbus address, here have already give you two type. So if you use this one, you select right side, and here left side. It depends on you. Both two data from supports. Okay, and the next part is here for analog debug, because if we use analog inputs, there may be some error about our analog input signal. So here for this step is to how to say, to adjust the analog signal to a normal one. So first step, we need to set in speed mode and set the speed source as analog input source. And here, mainly these two, we need to set these two parameters. Here, how to set these two parameters? First, for my pen. Yeah. First, we need to before adjusting the analog input, we first need to set the relationship between analog input and our speed value. So we use this parameter P5 and 9, this parameter to set, and the value is the value is RPM units, and which is response to the 10 voltage input, because our for analog input voltage, the range are from negative 10 voltage to positive 10 voltage, and for this range, we can't change. We can't change this range. So yes, and here this parameter is about how fast the motor speed is when the input voltage is 10. So you can see here, if the input voltage is 5 voltage, so our speed will be 1500. And if the input voltage is only 1 volt, the speed will be 300 RPM. If we use default setting. And then, for example, if the input voltage is, for example, is this one, then our speed will be this one. Okay. Okay, let's start. Let's continue. Okay, after setting the relationship between speed and analog signal, and now we need to adjust our analog signal to a normal one. First, we need to set this zero drafts. How to set? We can normally when there are no analog inputs. When there are no analog inputs, our driver should collect zero MV. But sometimes maybe there are some small error in driver side. For example, there are no analog inputs, but we can see in driver it displays maybe 2 MV or 5 MV. So in this status, we can set this parameter to make this error disappear. And how to check this 2 MV or 5 MV? You can use this AI input. Okay, you can see this value U0 and 21. For example, there are no analog inputs, but here this value may be displayed 0.001. So it means we have 10 MV 0 dropped. So we can set this P5 and 4. Set this parameter as this to solve this error. To solve this error and zero inputs. Okay, so this is the first step. And after this step is done, and we need to set the set this error. How to understand this error? Usually when after this zero draft setting is finished, and here we will get, for example, here. And normally we will get this curve. But if there are this error, for example, when the input voltage is 100 MV, and then U to 0 and 21 is 0. U0 and 21. So it means we need to set this parameter as P5 and 1 as 100 to make negative 100 to make this error disappear. You can see it is here. And this is input voltage. For example, this point is maybe 50 MV. So we need to set this parameter as negative 50. Yes, so this is how to set this parameter. Just one point need to note it is we need to first set P5 and 4 first, and then we set P5 and 1. We can't change the order, otherwise the setting will be wrong. Okay. And next, here is filter setting, analog input filter setting. So we can set this parameter to make our analog inputs, how to say, more stable. So it will not have will not like this one. You can see here on the left sides. On the left sides, we set this parameter as 1000, and then the speed will have a big change. And here, when we add this parameter, we can see the speed is how to say, a little more stable. We're not changing all the time. or we can see the change range is smaller. Okay, and the last part is about some commonly used DI/DO terminal in speed mode. First here, in the enable and the alarm, usually these two is commonly used in all control modes. But here for 5 and 7, these two is usually used in position control. And also on the right side, you can see here have 3 DI inputs, which is used for select internal speed. And the first for this one, 0 speed climb. For this function calls, there are a relative parameter P1 and 21. This parameter. How this parameter works? For example, if we set P1 and 12, 22, this is another parameter. For example, we set this parameter as 10 RPM. So when the speed and here we set P1 and 21 as 0, default 0. So when the speed is smaller than 10 RPM, the motor will not stop. When the motor will not rotate, will keep a 0 speed. Only when the speed is bigger than 10 RPM, the motor will begin to rotate. So this is 0 speed climb function. And also you can see here, when the actual speed is smaller than this P1 and 22, this part and also this part, you can see this signal is on status. Okay. And this is how this 0 speed climb function code works. And here are some commonly used DO terminal in speed mode. For example, rotation detection, 0 speed signal, and consistent speed and speed approach. First, this one is rotation detection setting. For example, the default setting is 20 RPM. So you can see every time when the speed is smaller than 20, then this signal will be on. I mean, this rotation detection, this DO signal will be on status, and when the speed is bigger than 20, this signal will be off status. So how to say? So in a word, it means the driver will think the motor is rotating only when the motor speed is bigger than 20. Otherwise, the driver will think the motor is not running. And this P5 and 90 for this parameter. This parameter is we can use this default value to take an example. Default value is 10 RPM. So you can see every time when the speed is smaller than 10, between -10 to when the speed is between -10 to 10 RPM, this signal will be on. So it means driver. So it means we can think that the motor are in zero speed status. So this is how this parameter working. And here speed consistent signal. This signal means also, for example, we use this one, this 10. This 10 means, for example, our target position, our target speed is 1000 RPM. So, if we set this as 10, it means when the speed is between 990 to 1010, this DO signal will be on, and we think that the motor speed is consistent. Or we can see, or we can think that the motor is achieving the target velocity. Okay, so this is how this DO parameter works, how this DO signal works. And achieve. Okay, and let's all commonly use the DI and the DO signal about speed mode. Do you have any question? And today's homework will be relative to speed control. So I will send the homework later. And today's homework is also not it's also easy to do. And also the training training video and presentation. I will send them to our training group later. But I think maybe today's training video will be 3 video because we have disconnect 2 times. So we will get 3 training video. I will send them all to our training group. Yes, doesn't matter. You can use internal speed command to run it. And if you okay, here you can see here if you select 0 internal speed commands, then the motor speed you can set in this parameter P1 and 2. This internal speed command 0. So you can change this value to change your speed if you select internal speed command. Absolutely are totally 8 speeds. But if you didn't configure the DI input, the default value is use this one, P1 and 12, P1 and 2. Yes. Yeah, we have an application on what we've been. The application you means to run the model, right? Okay, doesn't matter. I will arrange it. And today, tomorrow our topic is about torque control. And I will connect the motor to and use SC tool to check the firmware for you. Maybe it will be more easy to understand. Okay. If there are no other questions, I think we can finish our today's class. Also, you can ask question in our group anytime, and we will reply it as soon as possible. Okay, see you tomorrow.